Hello everybody and welcome to first bonus episode. Today secret boss time, but first we need to unlock it, so let's do it. So we need to get a special item here in Hall of Champions. It's secret inside a secret, so it's pretty hard to find. This is a room, just go to the wall and do shovel drop. And there's the thing we need to collect. And Curio's map is mine, so let's get back. New area is unlocked, so let's see what do we get here. And the secret boss is Battletoads. So first section is Zitz in the Wookiee hole. He has two types of attacks: frontal assault by approaching and punching Shovel Knight, and wrecking ball by launching himself from a wall. The latter can be easily avoided as Zitz briefly flashes as a wrecking ball before launching himself. He can be attacked by either swinging the shovel blade at him 1 health point, or by using the wrecking ball attack 2 health points. The special attack can be used by sticking to a wall and using the attack key. Zitz has 10 hit points in the first part and 20 in the second. Propeller rats, hoverminas and bubbles also appear during the third part. In this section there's a new type of propeller rats, scissors propeller rats. They directly try to cut Shovel Knight's ropes during the Wookiee hole segment when fighting Zitz, or to simply hurt him. These propeller rats are also the only enemies, besides the Beatus, that are able to be juggled. Doing so will progressively increase the value of treasure dropped, a reference to the original Battletoads video game, where enemies could be juggled for extra points. Before I finish this part, let's talk about trivia for this boss. This boss battle were originally exclusive to the Xbox version, but later added to the PC version. So Rare, the original developers of Battletoads, provided input on the work of Yacht Club Games for these guest bosses. Speaking of bosses, the Battletoads are one of the boss fights that doesn't take place in other campaigns. The music in this stage is taken directly from the corresponding stage from the Northeast's version of Battletoads, except for the Rash fight, which is a remix of the title theme. In addition, pausing in this stage will replace the music with said game's pause theme. And welcome to the second section, Pimple in the Turbo Tunnel. He attacks Shovel Knight by hitting him with his fist or bumping into him. The best way to deal with Pimple is to always move behind his hover bike and hit him with the shovel blade, even when he jumps. He has only 10 hit points. Before I finish this part, let's talk about trivia for this boss. This boss battle were originally exclusive to the Xbox version, but later added to the PC version. So Rare, the original developers of Battletoads, provided input on the work of Yacht Club Games for these guest bosses. Speaking of bosses, the Battletoads are one of the boss fights that doesn't take place in other campaigns. The music in this stage is taken directly from the corresponding stage from the Northeast's version of Battletoads, except for the Rash fight, which is a remix of the title theme. In addition, pausing in this stage will replace the music with said game's pause theme. And I want to talk about feats. There are 45 in total. I haven't followed the ones I've already discovered, so I'll put all of theme here: victory, finish the game, music lover, obtain and return all song scrolls, master anglerfish in 5 sparkling spots, decked out, purchase or unlock all relics, equipment and upgrades, relic round table, defeat an enemy by using each relic, ice cream for itcher, sample every itchers, nice hat, help out the moochers in the shop, reflect lord, hit enemies with a reflected projectile 30 times, again finish new game plus, whole champion, finish hall of champions, well met, defeat all of the wandering travelers, halfway, defeat 4 of the Order of No Quarter, hey big spender, spend 25,000 gold, no damage, finish any stage without taking damage, impossible, finish the game without dying. Penny pincher, don't spend any money, perfect platformer, finish the game without falling into a bottomless pit, checkpointless, destroy every checkpoint, first purchase, buy your first item, master shoveler, buy all shovel blade upgrades. Flare wand, defeat an enemy with the flare wand from more than 25 blocks away. Another dimension, collect 2000 gold lying on spikes with phase locket. Super sphere, destroy 5 enemies within 5 seconds using chaos spheres. Knuckle down more than 4 seconds in the air while using the dust knuckles. Reflected riches, bounce 1 alchemy coin 5 times in a row. Arc of iron, defeat 3 enemies with 1 throwing anchor. Flying feet, defeat 3 enemies using the propeller dagger without touching the ground. Boom, defeat 5 foes at once with the warhorn. Clearing a path, run over 5 enemies with 1 mobile gear. I'm alive, finish any stage without dying. True chivalry, beat the game without collecting any relics. Hurry up, finish the game within 1 hour and 30 minutes. Order of Hoarders, have 50,000 gold on hand. Get the point, destroy all checkpoints, and finish single stage. Unto-shade emoji, unscathed from a battle with a Knight of the Order of No Quarter. Shovel economy, finish a level and swing the shovel fewer than 20 times. On a diet, finish a level without eating any food. Sparker, finish off any boss using the ground spark technique. You're fired, finish off the Black Knight with a reflected shot. Pungent, listen to all of Croker's puns. Juggler, impress Mona. Dirt poor, don't collect any gold for an entire stage. Hooper, bounce on the kid's hoop for 5 seconds. Truple acolyte, discover the secret of the Truple King. And final feat, only you use caution and common sense around campfire. And another thing I want to talk about is body swap mode. Originally called gender swap, is a feature in Shovel Knight Treasure Trove that lets players choose the gender of the main characters in Shovel of Hope. The concerned characters are Shovel Knight, Shield Knight, Black Knight, the Enchantress and the members of the Order of No Quarter. The gender of all main characters in the game can be swapped selectively. For example, there can be both a male Shovel Knight and a male Shield Knight. Pronouns for each of those characters can also be swapped selectively. For example, a Shovel Knight with a female body can go by male pronouns in the game. The menu for body swap can be accessed at any point during the game. Changes will only be effective after exiting the current stage and entering the map. Originally, body swap mode only allowed to change pronouns into their masculine or feminine forms, but in December 2019 the option to choose gender neutral pronouns was added. There's 3 options: random, default, and opposite. Fiona and Cake, one of the episodes in the American cartoon series Adventure Time, served as one of the inspirations for the body swap mode. When swapped, King Knight changes to Queen Knight and the Enchantress becomes the Enchanter. They are the only characters to undergo a complete name change to fit with their opposite gender. In addition of doing concept art for the body swap main characters, the developers also drawn the opposite gender versions of several minor characters: the Bard, Baz, Phantom Striker, Chester, the Gastronomer, Mr. Hat, the Magicist, Mona, Red Eyes and the Trouble King. And welcome to the final section. Rash, the last Battletoad, is a tough fighter with 20 hit points and great mobility moves. He runs back and forth across the screen and performs high jumps, making him difficult to hit. When he stops moving, he hits forward with his fist, which then increases ridiculously in size, but offers a platform to shovel drop on. He can also dash through and is invincible when doing so. When jumping, he can also drops vertically to bury Shovel Knight in the ground, then send him flying with a kick. Additionally, he can call either Zitz or Pimple to help him during the battle by pointing forward. Zitz performs his Wrecking Ball attack, which can only be avoided by staying on the ground. Pimple dashes through the screen with his hover bike and can only be avoided by jumping over him. The key to defeating Rash is to stay in movement and keep Shovel dropping over his head. Relic attacks have few chances to work as Rash can dash through them. The Toad Gear turns Shovel Knight's armor green, similar to Rash. While the gear is equipped, all purchased Shovel Blade upgrades are disabled, and Shovel Knight regular dig slashes become a 3-hit thrusting combo. These hits do not inflict damage, but they will stun their target, unless the enemy is not shielding itself. If the combo connects, the third hit will transform the Shovel Blade in either a huge version of itself, or a boot with which Shovel Knight will perform a kick motion. Both of these attacks deal twice the normal damage, like the charge handle attack, and can dig up dig piles completely. While shovel dropping, the shovel blade becomes huge. In this state it digs through dirt in one single motion, without bouncing on it, but if the shovel drop is instead performed on an enemy, a meal plate or a light orb, it will bounce. Contrary to the Armor of Chaos modified shovel drop, the Toad Gear shovel drop does not affect at all dig piles, with the exception of the ones stuck on walls, in which case Shovel Knight will bounce on them. While equipped, the Toad Gear also enable a running animation by double tapping left or right, which will temporarily increase the default walking speed. If attack is pressed while running, Shovel Knight will do a shoulder bash, which will destroy any dirt caught at its path, but ignore any floor dig pile. However, if an enemy is present in front of Shovel Knight, the shoulder bash will instead be replaced. Shovel Knight horns will morph into ram horns and he will perform a plunging ramming attack, dealing twice the damage, unearth dig piles in one motion and hit any enemy caught in it, all the while remaining invincible during it. Lastly, by standing still and pressing down, the Toad Gear will make Shovel Knight strike a cool confident pose instead of crouching. Overall, the Toad Gear allows Shovel Knight to play similarly to the Battletoads. And I'm going to end part here. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you in next one.